Hello, guys. Welcome back to another amazing review. And today, um, more will be like a review on both movies. But um, I just watched the new and anticipating live action How to Train Your Dragon, and all I have to say, DreamWorks, you nailed it. This was perfect. This was great. They, I mean, if you've seen the animated movie, it's literally this live action movie is literally taking that animated movie and then just using live action. That's it, and they nailed it. The story's there. There are some new things in there, but I actually kind of like the new things more. And there's more interaction to the characters. I felt more feelings to everyone. Hiccup, Astrid, Snot Loud, Fish Legs, Rough Nut, Tough Nut. I didn't mind that they were new. I didn't mind that they were different. You know what? That's part of that. That's part of the life we have. We like any person that's playing the roles of those characters. We're not gonna have the original like voices that do those characters, because if we have the original voices, you just have like a bunch of adults, or grown-ups in like the Viking world doing their part. You need to have kids to do the part. So that's the idea of literally taking live action to realism, because you are taking animation to realism, so that way you can have like an actual story to the characters. Um, but we're also going to be talking about more about the Lilo and Stitch movie as well for this one as well, because unlike the Lilo and Stitch movie, the How to Train Your Dragon movie actually didn't take no curveballs. There's no like moment where Toothless talks, or there's no moment where Hiccup like resents Toothless, or he actually kills him. No, they literally stuck it from the top from the original movie and ended to where it ends, where he gets his lost leg and he has to use prosthetic, and he has it's a bit of new dialogue at the end, but I like this new dialogue. It fits. It fits really well. It fits the story really well, and I love their depiction of Burke and how it's like isolated to the world. Um, and I'm saying the world because I'm not saying this is actually part of our world, like modern technology. This is way back in the Viking era, so very good job at that point. Um, I was very afraid that Burke was not gonna be like Burke in the animated movie, because in the animated Burke movie, it's all huge mountains and the cliffs and stuff. But when I saw what Burke looks like at the beginning, it looked like Burke. I mean, like very like looks like Burke. There is a little bit of no, there's no like giant like Viking statues, but that's okay. That's all right. As long as you have the giant like cliffside and all that stuff, that is perfect. The dragons looked great. I was blown away. Like the flaming nightmare, the Grunkle, the Zippleback, and the deadly Natter, and Night Fury. Oh, they look so good. Toothless looks so good. I mean, he looked just like Toothless in the animated movie, but like 10 times better in live action. They nailed that. Um, And that's my problem. DreamWorks did it so well, so why didn't Disney do it good? And then you know why? The story. They didn't stick by a story to progress the characters. The reason why DreamWorks stuck by the story, because I knew if they went off story, it wasn't going to be good for people to watch. So they stuck the story, but just added a bit more detail just to add that story again, to add more from that story, add more freshness, more dialogue, just to have more stuff a bit. Like there's a moment where Astrid and Hiccup have like this little talk. It's basically in the animated movie. Hiccup gets the Book of Dragons and he's gonna talk to Astrid, but then Astrid leaves because she just I already read it, and he's like, oh okay, bye, I'll see you tomorrow, and then they shut the door, and then he just reads it. Well, actually, he doesn't read it. He comes back later with a lantern, and then he reads it after they're like no one's there, no, like everyone's gone. So I was like, how they're going to make this thing different. And the difference is very similar. Is very similar, but then Hiccup actually gets Astrid to talk with them just a bit, and I like that approach of them actually kind of trying to like get together. Like even knowing that Astrid is kind of more tougher than Hiccup, I felt like the chemistry between Astrid and Hiccup and Stoic and Snotloud and Fish Legs and Rough Nut Tough Nut had actual like feelings and dread to them. There's moments I like and moments I was like I had some smirks. I actually laughed sometimes because I kept the flow going. And that's what I want. That's what I want for any live action movie at this point. I want it to have that same story. I don't want nothing to change. The problem with Lilo and Stitch is that it sticks by a story that didn't belong in the original. What's what's wrong with Lilo and Stitch that is better than How to Train Your Dragon is that How to Train Your Dragon sticks by its story very well. They don't take anything away, they just improve on it so that way it's better. Lilo and Stitch doesn't have a story. It's very focused to the human characters, Lilo and Nani, and it's never really focused on Stitch, our main character, the person that is well for promoting for the live action movie, and he's not really promoted at all because he's just there for just side stuff. And that's not what Lilo and Stitch is. Lilo and Stitch is about Stitch's redemption from being bad to good. His his qualities of destruction is what causes him to be that way he is. But when he ends up with Lilo, and then that chemistry with her and her sister the first time is a bit rough, but he learns to adapt because he sees emotion. He finally sees emotion in himself. Like he starts to feel something he's never felt before. The emotional dread. Like there's a scene in Lilo and Stitch. They don't do it in the live action, which I don't know why they didn't do it. It's stupid. I completely I don't understand the idea of them doing the idea like Stitch is drinking from a lava lamp. I understand Lilo's trying to teach him how to do hula, but that was only there for what was that his name, uh Elvis. They completely ditched the Elvis thing until later on in the movie where he actually is wearing an actual Elvis costume. But that's it. That's the only part we get to see Elvis Presley. There's not that much. There is some Elvis music in it in the live action, but like I said, there's just not very. It is very, 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 very little, and that's why I feel How True Train a Dragon didn't take a risk. They didn't take they didn't take the story and they didn't like change it up. Like I said, they didn't like make Hiccup like resent Toothless and kill him off on sight and then like say I'm a dragon slayer and then Stone's like yeah son that's right, and then like they just changed it. Like, no they did not go that way. They kept it from the original and they sticked by that story. They did not change that, and that's what you're supposed to do. If you're gonna do a live action movie, you stick by the story. You don't change the crap so that way it might be better in the perspective. And that's what Disney forgot to do. I understand that they want to do something different with the story, and that's completely okay. But if the story doesn't make sense for the people that are watching it, it will get lost in translation, and it's not Lilo and Stitch. It's just a random movie that you just put Stitch in that has characters that are trying to resembling the characters, but they don't resemble his story. Um, okay, for instance, in Lilo and Stitch, there's a moment where Stitch reads well, he doesn't even read it. He looks at books, and then he gets this fairy tale book, and he's reading The Ugly Duckling, and that's when he wakes up Lilo, and she tells him what the Ugly Duckling is, like that he's sad alone, and there's no one that likes him, and then later on his family finds him, and then he's okay, he's happy because he found out where he belongs. So That's what they could have done with the Lilo and Stitch movie with live action. They could have had it where Stitch didn't feel like he wasn't belonging with Lilo or Nani. He felt he needed to have his arc. They didn't do that. They just went with Nani and Lilo. It's so baffling that they went that direction. It just makes no sense. It's supposed to be Stitch, his redemption, his his arc to get back to where he needs to be. What choice does he want to do? What passage is his best decision to do good? Is it to destroy or to have a family? And that's his dilemma. But they don't do that. It's so backwards. I'm I'm literally I say it, I said it in my ramble, but I'm gonna say it right now. The Lilo and Stitch movie is shit to the original because it's mocking and it's literally taking a crap on it because it doesn't understand the story very well. Wherein the animated How to Train Your Dragon and this live action How to Train Your Dragon don't take a risk. They stuck by the story, and they kept with the story, but they just added a little bit newer things to it. That's what Disney needed to do. You just had to focus on the Stitch story, but you could have added a little bit of things in there to push that story forward. So easy, Disney. So easy. You could have had that movie better than the original, and it isn't. It's so bad. Story's not there. The characters don't fit. I don't even like the idea that Nani wanted to be a marine biologist. That was never in the original movie. Who the fuck came with that idea? Like, oh, Nani's a marine biologist. Where the hell did that come from? The only part that Nani has is that David's the one that gets her a job to work at that quickie mark, so that way she could actually support Lilo. It's also David's only redemption to actually get her to like her and then maybe date her and then they have a family with Lilo. That was the point of the first movie. David to get like Nani's attention so that way they could maybe get together and actually start become a family. And then for Stitch, it's his responsibility to redeem himself from all the bad and be good for once to protect Lilo from the threat that she was captured by Gantu. And that's what the movie is also doesn't have a threat. It's very convoluted. They just make up one threat to the other. Jumba becomes the villain. Not a good idea. You should have had Gantu. I don't care if you had to take more animation. You could have had a little bit more time to spend more time to make Gantu in those scenes. I don't care if it took you a year to get the live action Lilo and Stitch movie done. I would think that is better the way this crap came out. At this point, Disney did very wrong. DreamWorks did great because they never took a risk. DreamWorks took by the story. They didn't change the story. They didn't fuck it up. They literally kept it the original. One by one. Like if you're watching both How to Train Your Dragon and How to Train Your Dragon live action, you are literally seeing both movies literally the exact same with live action characters. That's it. But that's good. That's better than having a story and the characters, but they don't make sense of having the story with those characters. And also not have it to compare it to between the original Lilo and Stitch movie to the animated, this live action crap movie is like two movies, but they're not similar at all. There's no bondage. There's no side by side. They're two different movies, and one is superior than the other. And you know which one it is? It's the animated one, you assholes. Diva Balloon and Chris Sanders would have been so disappointed by this. I bet you Chris Sanders he literally is probably just like thinking in his head, just saying like, I can't believe I trusted people to have the responsibility to make make a good movie for my movie that I made a long time ago, and they treat my movie like garbage, and they make this piece of junk. It's I'm in there, but I don't feel like I'm part of the story. That's literally what he's probably saying to his head. Deep Balloon's probably making him say like, yeah, what the hell? Like, what were they thinking making this? This is not Lilo and Stitch. This is not Lilo and Stitch. Not at all. I hate the part where they change it. Like they have Curl Bubbles with Lilo and Stitch and have Pleakley and David with them. It was literally about Lilo, Stitch, Nani, Jumba, Pleakley, and David. They're the ones that stick by the Nani's side, be that family, that new family, that or new original family, that odd alien family. But that's better than having nothing. And Cora Bubbles, he is just a CAO agent that is working for the aliens, but he'll be coming back sometime to help them about other aliens, other things like Hansaville and Gantu and other things going on the purpose. So I literally have no words to say. Like, Lilo and Stitch had a fucking chance to do this good, and it didn't. It sucks. And I'm just, I love How to Train a Dragon more than Lilo and Stitch now. Not because, I'll always like Stitch. Animated movie. Live action, only for Stitch, only for what he is. Like, I like the live action look of Stitch. That's the only redeeming quality. The rest is shit. It's fucked up, come to be prepared. And that's the reason why I feel like How to Train Your Dragon they didn't change the story, they didn't change the characters, they just took the animated movie and live actioned it. They kept the story and they changed a bit of things, but they didn't mess those changes up. That's the thing about Disney. You guys are so full of money all the time. You don't understand that it's all about the story. What makes the story? What is the story about? What makes a good story to do this story? Like Chris Sanders had this one thing. He said, "Find the story," and when he means find the story, you find the characters, you find the plot, you find who is your main dude that's supporting the others. You're going with Lilo and Stitch, so it should be Stitch and his story of his redemption to being good. And you went with Lilo's redemption with Nani. And that's not what Lilo and Stitch is. It's so backwards. Disney, if you would ever think about for 1 second, or at least saw the script, or at least got a idea from your fucking heads, and actually look at your ideas before you put it on the screen, you could have had a masterpiece. DreamWorks will probably do it better than this. They'll probably make up more money than they'll ever have, and they'll have enough money to make more movies that Disney will have that much to make maybe a couple. And it's because Disney didn't do the idea that they should have went with. You should have stuck by the script. And it's because you didn't stick by the script, your movie failed like shit. Marketing might be good for one thing for a while, but this movie will be a trash wreck. It'll probably be forgotten. Now, no one's gonna watch this live action shit for Lilo and Stitch if you don't have a story to back it up. No one's gonna watch that. No one. They're gonna watch the animated movie just to keep your flow going. And that's the only thing that's gonna keep you going because they like animated movie better. your live action thing is going to push them away. You're thinking that Stitch being live action was a good idea? The idea sounded great on paper. But if you don't have a story to those characters, then you don't make a live action movie until you have the story with those characters. It's the same goes with How to Train a Dragon. The reason why that movie went so well was it stuck by the story of those characters. Hiccup shoots down the Night Fury. He finds the Night Fury. He's going to kill it. He doesn't kill it. He untangles it. He almost gets killed by the Night Fury. The Night Fury leaves him alone. He finds him, and then he names him Toothless. They bond. After they bond, he later finds out that he can have he finds out different things that Toothless can do, or he can do to dragons, and that's how he's able to get further with his friends. Starts making friends. Aster starts to resent him more because he's becoming more not like he's becoming more popular than her, so that's why she's basically wanting to have it her way. So it's like, and you understand the frustration between Aster and Hiccup, between those chemistry of those characters, and then Hiccup and Toothless are trying to figure out how does he fly, and he finds out he needs his underside of his wing, because when he shot him, he got ripped off when he landed or crashed. So yeah, everything you know from the animated movie is literally top down the same for this live action movie. But it's better, and it does have changes, but the changes keep the story going. It doesn't change the story. It actually brings the story together more, and it makes up for those perfect emotions. I feel for the character. I feel for the tides of what was going on. And that's why I feel like this movie is superior than Lilo and Stitch. If Disney really took notes and they literally said, we don't want to be like the next Sonic. That's literally what Lilo and Stitch is. It's for the live action Lilo and Stitch movie, it's like Disney took ideas from Sonic, how Paramount went with Sonic. And that's not what you're supposed to do. Do not take notes from other companies, Disney. That's where you're going to get yourself into the dilemma of being wrong. And that's why this didn't work. The reason why Sonic works is because Sonic has intelligence and it has goofiness. And it works in that world because you can have very simple characters interacting with these fictional characters that aren't real, but they're real in the world that they live in. For Stitch, there's an actual arc of him as he was evil and then he progressed to become good. So it's so backwards that Disney would do such an amazing movie during 2002, and now the 2025 they do this shit movie? Come on, Disney. Come on. Get out your fucking heads and actually smell the roses and do something better. I heard Elio might be better. I heard Elio will be much better. Pixar, Elio should be better. I'm rooting to be good. I know Tron Ares is coming out too, October 20th. 2nd, which I'm actually kind of excited for that. I did not know we're going to have another Tron movie, but I'm grateful for that. Tron in the real world, hell yeah. I'm excited. Everything's red for some reason. I'm guessing Clue took over, so I don't know. I don't know. So I'm very eager, but like I said, Disney, you had a chance. And you know what? I don't even care if you do a sequel for the live action movie. You kind of ripped it off with the live action movie already. Why would you want to change it or do a sequel to it? Because you're either way, you're just gonna have bad fans all over with the idea of Jonah being a bad guy. You messed it up. It's like with Skylar Academy all over again. The idea of Stark Spyro being a fucking villain, and then Jumba being a fucking villain. He's not supposed to be that. He's supposed to be good. He's supposed to be, that's his character is he's an evil genius. He's not an evil villain. That's the character of what we got with Jumba in this movie. He's an evil genius, but he's an evil villain at the end. What the fuck, Disney? What the fuck? I can't believe you made that as a complete disarray to the character. It's It makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense to the story. Doesn't make sense to the animated like franchise. It's literally one and done. I would rather you redo this movie, fix up changes, and then put it back out again. Watch my video. Watch my video from start to to finish. Because all the stuff I'm saying right now is correct. I am right on this stuff. You should understand. Don't stop thinking about fucking money all the time and actually think about the story. Walt would be very disappointed with you guys. He would probably say you're doing the worst thing to my company. You're actually making it bad. I know why I hired you all. Why are you messing up my franchise? It's why I want to work for you guys. I want to work for Disney. I want to fix it. And there's just so much things I would like to do to help, to fix, to change, to do better. I want us to stick by the story. The money. No one fucking cares about money right now. It's all about how you manage a story and those characters. Because if you don't have a story, then you don't have a movie. If you don't have the setting, you don't have the characters, you don't have the music, you don't have that feeling of like dread, you don't have a fucking movie. You don't have a good movie, and it's never going to be good, because if you just sit in your asses like, oh, I'm going to have money, 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 you're never going to have a good movie if you're going to keep like doing that shit. So understand, Disney, you need to change soon, because if you don't, you're going to end up like shit. And probably DreamWorks will be better. Or you're going to have to take over some companies like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and frickin' then other places. Because of your hassle of knowledge of money. I understand I'm being a tyrant, but like, I'm just sick of Disney doing this shit all the time. Live action is good for one reason, for doing some good movies. But if you can't do a good live action movie, then don't do a live action movie because you don't understand what you're doing. Do not do the live action movie if you don't think this is going to work. Otherwise, if you know it's not going to work, then don't do it. Don't do the story. If you think the story won't work, then don't mess with it. You keep the original. Take notes from DreamWorks. Because I bet you should. I swear to God, like, Disney, you need to get off your ass and actually start thinking about your movies as like actual family. The family that you created and is always going to be with you forever. But if you just don't look at the sunshine and rainbows and actually look at the story, what's the point of doing stuff for Disney if you don't want to give a shit about your people? Not even your fans that like you. The people that watch it all the time. The people that go to your park. The people that understand your feelings of wanting to have fun for family and kids. Magic. It makes the wonders of the universe our universe. But if you can't do it, then what's the point of doing stuff for imagination? What's the point of living if you're all about money all the time? And that's why I feel like I've already rambled a little enough of that already. So, anyways, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon was great. A banger for the live action movie for How to Train Your Dragon, the animated movie and this live action movie. So, if you like my little ramble interview of both those movies and a bit of Lilo and Stitch in here, please tell me in the comments below. If you're gonna watch this, please take notes. I'm a fan of your work. I love your movies. But I'm just not a big fan of what you're doing now. Take my suggestion. Start thinking before you create this stuff. Take some time. Take years off until you understand how to fundamentally make a good story. Go back and watch the original movies. Like if you're going to do Atlantis: The Lost Empire, I don't want you just making a live action movie just from what you think of what the movie is about. I want you to actually sit down and watch that movie from start to start to finish, and then understand what you need to do for live action. Like, I want you to watch it 6 or 7, 8. I don't care how many times, but just watch it so you understand if you're gonna make a live action movie, then you know what you're supposed to do. Same with Church of Planet. The same with any other movie you're gonna be doing. Watch it first, because if you don't, you're gonna make garbage like Lilo and Stitch. So, marketing may work for a bit, but it's never gonna get you that much money if you're never gonna get that movie to work that well. Take it for a grain of salt, myself. Take it for a grain of salt. As a fellow artist and probably new animator in the near future, working with you guys, I'm right. So you gotta take my stuff and tell me I'm okay. I'm doing I think it's good and right. Anyways, I'm enough talking. If you guys enjoyed this little video of me talking about how to train your dragon and Lilo and Stitch live action movies together, please tell me in the comments below. Also, hit that notification bell so that you know every time when I make a new video. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys next time on another amazing video from me, Crazy Zombie, and I'm out. Bye-bye.